Welcome to Your Radiant Spirit, a space for the conversations and colors that help you see yourself more clearly. I'm Heather Eck, an intuitive artist and guide, and I believe your soul speaks in the ways the mind can't always put into words, through color, energy, and the stories your body holds. This show is where we explore those messages. Through personal stories, deep conversations, and creative insight, we'll uncover what's been hidden, release what no longer serves, and begin to imagine what's possible when you live in full alignment with who you're meant to be. What you hear here is more than inspiration, it's an opening, a chance to feel the shift that could change everything. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and let's step into today's conversation. Welcome back to Your Radiant Spirit. Thank you for joining me today. We're taking a small break this summer so I can recoup and revisit the podcast as I prepare to launch season 3. And for the next couple of weeks, I thought what I would do is to share a couple of small little stories about just the things that happen in my life, the messages from God and the universe, and share with you the way that little stories like this help support your life in these little moments that can become very meaningful. I'm somebody who firmly believes that everything is a message and that everything has meaning. And it's up to us whether or not we choose to acknowledge it, to receive it, and to do something about it. So I've been sitting with a little story from the other morning, one of those moments that sneaks up and sort of rearranges you in a gentle way. Simple, but it has stayed with me. And if you are on my newsletter list, you received a little bit about this last week. So maybe it's something that you need to hear today, and I'll dive in and share the story with you now. I was looking for a very specific song. It's the kind of song that you wake up and you're like, I just need to hear that song today. And I could not for the life of me remember it. I could remember things about the video. I could remember things about what the people who sang it looked like. I went on this wild goose chase looking for it on YouTube, on Spotify. I was looking through old text messages. I even texted a friend for help, and still nothing. I could not find this song. And I'm somebody who, when I lose something, I get a little frustrated, a lot frustrated by it, because I just want to find it, right? Like I just want to be able to hear it or to find the thing. So eventually I gave up. I clicked on a different song on YouTube and let it play. I was working on a couple of things on my laptop and the songs were playing in the background. And then all of a sudden, this song came on called Make a Way. And I didn't really think much of it at first. I was just sort of listening to it and swaying a little bit at the desk. And then all of a sudden, these lyrics stopped me in my tracks and I paused the song to go back and listen to it again. I'll share them now. That sickness is for his glory. That trial is for his glory. He still makes a way. And I just sort of sat there for a second. And I stood up and I went into the studio annex where I keep some larger pieces of art that haven't yet found a home. I was looking for this one specific piece. And this painting is something that I painted a few years ago. It's called You Make a Way for Me. And so you can probably imagine why when I heard that song, I thought, holy crap, he still makes a way. You make a way for me. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I named that painting that. So a little bit about that painting. One morning over the summer, I want to say it was 2021, so we were probably still in the throes of the COVID-19 pandemic. I was doing a lot of painting at the time. It was a weird time. I'm sure you can go back and remember it. It feels like an ancient history, and yet it still feels like it was yesterday. I woke up in, the twilight time that's like 3, 4, or 5 in the morning, where you're not quite asleep, but you're not quite awake. And I specifically remember having this dream where a black and white hummingbird flew past my face. And as it flew by in the dream, it said to me, look for the places that you're separated from God. And that was one of those moments where, you kind of go, oh my gosh, what the heck? It's one of those messages that make you, for me, made me kind of sit up and go, okay, this is important. If you are a student of A Course in Miracles, this wonderful book, required reading, I think it talks all about Christ consciousness, and it also talks about separation from God. And that in separation from God is where you find illness and disease and frustration, etc. So I woke up, I went about my day, I wrote this down, I sort of carried it with me all day. And finally, about, I want to say 10 a.m., I got out my paints and I painted a hummingbird. But this hummingbird was not black and white. It is vibrant and colorful and beautiful. And the painting itself is 30 by 40 inches. So it's pretty big. And the hummingbird sits in the lower right hand corner. And its wings are arched up in the back like it's mid flight. And its beak is pointed up north, but not straight up, sort of up into the west, I guess. And as I worked on this piece, I felt like this bird was delivering a message, quite literally in the dream, but also in the painting. And it feels like it's ascending. It feels like it's guiding the path. It feels like it's cutting through the noise. It feels like it is guiding you somewhere. And that's how I felt when I painted it. So sometimes when I'm painting, I'll receive messages or intuitive guidance about what the piece is about, particularly about the names. And most of the time, my paintings are accompanied by a song. That's one of the ways I receive a lot of messages from my guides from God. So I named this painting, You Make a Way for Me. I didn't know about any song that would accompany that. I didn't think about it. I just simply felt like this is the name, You Make a Way for Me. This hummingbird is the message. This colorful bird that visited me in the dream. And who knows, maybe in the dream it was actually an angel and I perceived it as a bird. Maybe in the dream it was black and white, but it was actually colorful. I don't know. You know how dreams are kind of tricky sometimes. But when I heard this song the other day, Make a Way, I sort of thought that the two went hand in hand. And what if I couldn't find the other song because I was meant to hear this one? What if the way forward sometimes is what actually feels like a detour? And what if the wrong turn is actually the sacred turn? And what if losing the way that you thought was right is actually how God makes a way for you? So the painting that I shared on Instagram, you can find it there at Heather Artist, is the actual painting. And for me, it made sense in a whole new way. It's just that it made sense to me 4 or 5 years later, but the message had been there all along, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. He always makes a way, even through the lost songs, even through the reroutes, even through the waiting. So I've been getting a lot of dreams lately. I've been hearing a lot of messages in music. And while I'm taking a little break from interviews this August, wanted to share these bite-sized episodes, just enough to share a little light to help you reconnect, to realign, and trust that the invisible path beneath your feet is actually making a way for you. I hope you'll continue to tune in with me this August and share any of your own messages, your beautiful moments of communion with God or the universe. And I hope that you are making a way for yourself these days. And hey, before we wrap up, if you're feeling that little nudge, maybe something in today's story stirred something in you, consider this your invitation to make a way. If you've been longing for a pause or for a space to catch your breath and hear your own soul again, I'd love to hold that space for you. We can simply sit together and explore what's coming up for you or see what your next step might be. No pressure, just presence. You can find the link to book a free insight session in the show notes. And until then, my friend, keep trusting the detours because they might just be the way. Thank you for joining me today on Your Radiant Spirit. Every conversation here is an invitation to go beyond the surface, to listen to what your soul has been whispering, and to step into the life you've been longing for. If you're ready to go deeper, to work in a way that's personal, creative, and profoundly transformative, you'll find ways to connect with me in the show notes. Whether it's through art, a guided session, or a fully immersive journey, you'll discover a space where your truth is seen and your next chapter begins. If this episode spoke to you, it would mean the world if you shared it with a friend, left a review, or subscribed so more people can discover the conversations we have here. Until next time, my friend, keep noticing the colors, the moments, and the nudges. They're all leading you home. And for now, take a breath, hold on to what resonated, and carry it with you into the rest of your day. Thanks for listening.